Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Footy Cloud. This is our new segment or new feature we're adding to our podcast. Basically, we're making a YouTube video every week where we build a team from scratch, which we believe will be the best for the next game week. So we're going to try this out and see how it goes. We still will be continuing with our podcast, which will be more in-depth analysis. But yeah, we think this will be quite a cool little feature to add. So without further ado, let's begin. We'll start looking at the game weeks, the game week and the fixtures ahead for the next week. Bill, looking at the fixtures, what do you think? Or do we have any walkover games, anything we should be focusing on as fantasy managers?
Okay, so there's obviously a few interesting games here. There's obviously the United Spurs game, which we can look at that a bit later. There's a few walkovers, and it's obviously there's some players where you're very keen on captaining. I don't know how you would look past Serge, but the guy's just got a hat trick. Do you think he'll do it again? That's the problem. Listen, newly promoted team. They had a shocking game last week. Could easily happen. It doesn't even matter that they're playing away. Makes no difference. But then you look further down and you've got Liverpool against Brighton. And you don't want to lose out on Salah because so many people captain Salah. It's such a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And also you can't ignore that Newcastle-Chelsea game.
Can't ignore that either. But that's also a tough one. Is Hazard, you've got to start looking at Hazard because he's been insane. But it's twice coming off the bench. So do you risk him coming off the bench again? Or you could go for a cheaper option like Pedro. Pedro is very cheap in this game for how he's been playing. I think he's a player you could definitely get in your team.
Okay, so those are the game weeks. Should we start building our team? But let's start with forwards. That's always the most interesting way to...
Okay, let's start with forwards, yeah.
Alright, so...
The thing is...
Looking at... So now, the question is, do you go with Aguero? Straight off the bat. He did score a hat-trick last week. Do we go with him? He is quite expensive. Yeah, against Wolves, we got to back him.
But you got to back Aguero against Wolves.
Okay, so we get Aguero in. Alright, next forward. Do we know what formation we're looking at, or we'll just figure that out as we go?
I guess you can look at two strong forwards and then have a average forward as a third forward. It depends what formation we're looking at, but we'll get to that.
Okay, so our second forward, one person I was thinking about, now that Jamie Vardy's out, do you think it's too risky to put in Nacho?
I mean, he will be that player, but is he going to... Just because he's starting for Leicester doesn't mean he's going to get you points. And he's been...
Look, it's Leicester. It's Leicester versus Southampton. It's a big opportunity for him to step up, though. You can't deny it.
You can't deny it, but are we looking at risks straight off the bat? That's a risky one.
Yeah, I'm just saying it because he's a cheap striker, so it could...
I think you could have him, but as a third forward. You can't have him... You have to have Aguero and then a bigger striker, like a big striker, and then Nacho. I don't know if you could have him as a second forward.
Okay, we can put him in for now. We can always take him out when we start working on the budget and whatever.
Yeah, let's put him in.
Just because he's a bit of a cheaper player, I think it's not a bad idea. Okay, so let's see then, the third forward. We got some... so now it's a tough one. Obviously, you can't go Lukaku because he's too expensive and they're playing Spurs. West Ham playing Arsenal, so that's a tough game for Arnautovic. Maybe Callum Wilson's been good. Bournemouth against Everton, also not an easy game.
Not an easy game at all.
Mitrovic had quite a good game against Spurs, and it's Fulham Burnley.
That Burnley defense, I've always they just seem. I mean, they weren't good last week, but that was abnormal for them.
What about Zaha, Palace versus Watford?
Wow.
7 million.
Yeah, Zaha, because I've got a inkling of what we can do with our mids.
Okay, let's see then. What can you say for the mid?
Okay, so there's two players you have to have in there, all right? You can disagree, but Mane, Salah against
Mane, Salah
at Anfield
have to walk into any mid any fantasy mid. You got to make them be in there, 100%. I agree with you with that. Okay, the one team we've ignored a bit is Chelsea. They've got a fixture against Newcastle. Maybe, I'm not sure if Pedro's a mid.
Put Pedro in there.
Yeah, I think Pedro is a mid.
He's a mid.
Great option, I think.
He's cheap for the player. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very cheap.
He's been
and
great.
He had a great game. This game week. Let's get some Chelsea boys in. I think we should also get maybe a Chelsea defender because there's a good chance of a clean sheet there.
Okay, so we've got Pedro in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Mane, Salah, Pedro.
Let's see. Other midfielders that could be interesting for us. Possibly a second Man City mid. David Silva had an amazing game in the last game week. It's not the cheapest though.
He's not the cheapest. And we've got Salah 13
We've
more
got Aguero.
In that midfield. It's massive. We've got Aguero. We've got Salah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the City midfield.
What about Maddison?
Because you can
we've
get
got
a
Kelechi
midfield
already. We don't want two Leicester players. Can go to the next page.
No, I don't think that's...
If there's anything here. Townsend had quite a good game, but yeah, we already got a Palace player.
Listen, City, you got Aguero and you've got Mendy, alright? I think you have to have Mendy.
Yeah, we can go ahead and add we can go ahead and add Mendy because he's definitely going into our team. The guy's proper on form.
Yeah, he's on form.
For sure Mendy's going. Bit of a risky one. What about Mkhitaryan for Arsenal? They're playing against West Ham. Not the best West Ham team. They've lost both of their opening fixtures, and he was very good against Chelsea. He came up against Chelsea. He's not that expensive.
No, he's not that expensive. Yeah, let's put him
also
in.
Another nice player is Kante. I don't know if you've been watching Chelsea of recent, but this new manager is very attacking, and you just keep seeing Kante popping up.
Yeah, he's
in like the most attacking positions.
Because he's got Jorginho playing behind Conte, so Conte's been moving forward a bit.
So it could be a cheap option instead of Pedro.
What's Conte's price?
Only 5 million.
I think you have to have Pedro. I think his attacking potential is too big to miss out on. You could put both.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. I guess they've got an easy fixture. You could back them. You could back them nicely. just always risky that. Quick question. What if we went, maybe try to fit Hazard in somehow
The thing is,
instead of Pedro?
he hasn't been starting, so.
Yeah, it's a bit risky considering that. But he's got to start eventually.
And he's been
been so good.
He's been so good off the bench, but the coach could easily say, okay, listen, it's working him coming off the bench for now. Let's keep bringing him off the bench. Don't change the dynamics. Also, he's expensive compared to Pedro. And Pedro's been good.
Yeah, Pedro's been starting. It's true.
I don't know if he's reached the point
what about
undroppable, but he has been good.
What about Richarlison? We haven't even looked at him. We kind of skipped over him.
Yeah, Richarlison.
Pretty cheap at 6.7.
Midfielder?
Walcott's also here, 6.5. It's the same
good.
price as Richarlison, pretty much.
Same price. You definitely go Richarlison though. Then.
Get Richarlison in there now. I think it's a good one.
Okay, get Richarlison in there, fifth midfielder. Oh, but you haven't put Mkhitaryan in.
Yeah, I can add Mkhitaryan. I like that option. Okay, we've got 26.6 million remaining on the budget. So we've got 4 defenders and 2 keepers.
Are we going to start? If we're not going to play Nacho, then we don't need him there.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it every week, right? We're not building a team now. So let's put 11 good players.
Yeah, if we can kind of decide on a formation.
Yeah, so I rate 3-5-2.
Yeah, we could go that. It's always risky though. What if can we guarantee that all these guys are going to play? I'm a bit worried about Pedro, but he should play.
Pedro's the only one I'm worried about.
So maybe we could go a 4-4-2 almost, and then we can switch Nacho out for a cheaper striker.
Yeah. I'll rate Pedro's plays. I'll rate you play him. He's been playing well. I think he's a good bet. So
we're going to add a forward. You want to get a cheap forward then, because we're going to play only 2 strikers. Makes sense.
Yeah, we don't
forwards,
need, because it's a weekly thing.
The cheapest we can go is 4.5.
Pick anyone.
We can go one of these guys.
Yeah, I'll go Kamara.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well the thing is, if one of our players don't play, then there's that auto sub. But Kamara plays a bit, so...
Yeah, the thing is, Kamara will only come in if Aguero or Zaha don't play, which would be quite hectic.
No, they'll play.
Aguero should start.
Yeah.
I know Pep's a bit challenging with his team selections, but I think Aguero should start. They don't have the hardest game as well, so it's probably a good bet. Defenders. So,
if we're playing if we go 3-5-2, then we can have 2 average defenders in there.
Yeah, we can have 2 cheap ones. So we can immediately put two just as cheap as get 4.1. We can get
Stankovic
at least they got some.
Stankovic scored, I think. Oh, no.
So we just add 2 cheapies in. Now we can go 2 others really strong defenders.
Yeah, Stankovic scored against City.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay, so now let's see defenders. Okay. So we got unlimited here. We've got Trippier.
United though.
I think that could be a good one.
Okay,
Yeah, I would say
Chelsea,
Trippier.
Chelsea defender,
Trippier
right? Alonso. I mean, surely you got to go Alonso.
Yeah, I think we got to go Alonso as well. I agree with you. It's just about budget, but let's see. It's true. Alonso versus Newcastle, clean sheet, and he had a great attacking game against Arsenal. I agree.
Yeah.
So now we've got 7.5 for our keepers. Unless
we're
we
not
were
gonna have
to
enough.
obviously.
Oh, you've put in Trippier.
Well, let's see. So which keepers would you start with? I think, honestly, I think it may be worth tripling up on Chelsea players versus Newcastle.
Hold on. How much was Trippier? What's his price?
Trippier was 6. He is playing against Man United, to be fair.
All right, we go. Either Liverpool defender. All right.
Okay.
Like even Robertson.
Okay. We're
Or
not going to have
Pereira.
enough for. I think Robertson's a pretty good bet. He was very good. Yeah, it's
Okay,
just
now
now a question of
goalkeepers is a
budget. I
problem.
mean, okay, our goalkeeper, the backup one, I always just think it's best just to go the cheapest goalkeeper as a backup. This is the guy in my team, Homer. It's fine. We'll get him in as our backup.
Yeah.
And then now we've got 3.5 for our last goalkeeper. So that can't obviously work. So we need to make a sacrifice somewhere on this pitch.
Let's get in. I think we go Etheridge. They're playing. It's Cardiff against. Who's Cardiff playing? Cardiff Huddersfield. You may as well get in a keeper who's doing well, and he's one of the cheapest.
Where is he there?
Right at the top.
For Cardiff. Oh, Etheridge right here. It's right in front of my face. Yeah, he's doing pretty well, to be honest. He's the top keeper. Okay. You see, we'll be over budget slightly.
Yeah, so
we only won over
changes.
budget like that. We need to make one sacrifice here. Player we could sacrifice is possibly Mkhitaryan.
Okay, I'll show you what I've done. Yeah.
You could put Kante instead of Pedro.
I've put Pereira instead of Robertson.
Yeah, Leicester, Southampton, fair enough. Okay, so you want a defender, you want Pereira from Well, then that does solve our budget. And there we go. So you would say then we'll play a 3-5-2. Etheridge in goal, Mendy, Pereira, Alonso, all of our midfielders, and Aguero Zaha. That would be our best team for this game week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So who would you say then? Captain, vice captain?
There's only one name I'm seeing, unfortunately.
Is that Aguero?
It has to be, surely.
Yeah, Aguero captain. Maybe Alonso vice captain.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
Or you can even go Salah vice captain. Nothing wrong.
I think that looks like a sick team.
Yeah, that looks like a very capable team for the next game week. Anything else we need to add? Or is that time now to end this episode?
I think, so obviously that was our first episode. We'll look at doing this every week. Obviously it doesn't really relate perfectly to the format because obviously you can't change the whole team. But I think it'll be good for us to keep putting the best players for the game week. Just people can look who they want in their
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, they can make that decision then on who we think's best,
Yeah.
and maybe make that 1 or 2 subs, like just off of this information.
Well, yeah, they can look at positions where they're struggling and say, listen, Pedro, yeah, he's a good bet. Let's get him in.
Cool. So then it's time to wrap up episode 1. Nice to chat to you, Dol. We hope this is useful for all the viewers, and go ahead, subscribe to our channel, follow our Instagram page. We also have our Twitter and Facebook, obviously. We will be releasing a pod also later in the week, which will be much more in-depth, but also applicable for draft and just regular fantasy. So yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. Cheers.